welcome back to the channel. It is the most earth-breaking, ground-shaking, but never me a show money-taking, the man, the myth, the legend, the most electrifying villain in all of YouTube entertainment today, Charles Hod. And today, folks, I will be joined here by the Bear to talk about two episodes of television. Be doing a review for 2 episodes. I'm going to be doing a review for the season final of Daredevil Born Again, and also a review of The Last of Us premiere, because I missed both of them. So we're going to be talking about both of them tonight. And so, yeah, if you're just joining us, I will be doing a full breakdown of Daredevil Born Again and a breakdown of The Last of Us season premiere. So, should be fun. Ola, what up, Carmen? Good to see you here. But anyways, Daredevil Born Again, just to give a quick synopsis before we really dive into the nitty-gritty. Daredevil Born Again picks up where the last episode left off, with Matt jumping in front of a bullet for Kingpin. Is he dead? Is he alive? What was going to happen? And folks, a lot happened. Yes, Carmen, I believe you are the only one here, but that's okay. I'm still just going to do my thing in chat. So, yeah, so the general synopsis is the final of the season. So just to break down a couple of things, I want to kind of give you guys an overview of what I'm going to do. Not only am I going to talk about the last episode, get my review, but also the series as a whole. And I'm here to tell you the teams changed for the writing, directing, and so on. If you guys didn't know, there was an original idea for this show that got scrapped, but not after they filmed something like 10 or 11 episodes, maybe 12 episodes. I forgot the exact count. And then there was a change, a switch in direction. And the first episode and the last 2 episodes were by the team that will be taking over the show, which means they shot their own stuff for this episode, and they had used their own sort of scripts. From what I heard, they had rewrote from the ground up what the story was going to be, but they kept some of the elements from the prior story to kind of finish something to get it out. That's it, what I hear. And boy, oh boy, do the last 2 episodes of this definitely feel completely different. Now, just to give you guys a little bit of gist before I dive into this last episode and my overall opinion. The writing for this show has been very uneven. We've had some really great episodes, and then me and PB talked about some other episodes, and they just were off. We couldn't put our finger on it, but a lot of different issues between the writing. PB talked about some technical issues with the battle with Muse, which I didn't notice. There were a couple of things I didn't like. The death of Muse, I believe it was episode 7. I felt like the character was built up to be something bigger and really amounted to nothing. And now, before we get started, my theory about this is that I think that Muse was part of the original run, or the original story idea, and I think some of the elements that were here were from the original story idea because of how they seem to flow nicely. The stuff with Bullseye and all of the characters being added, like we weren't supposed to have Karen Page, she wound up being added in. There were a lot of different switches and changes. So, welcome.
Some switches and changes.
Lots of switches and changes. So first, before we begin the review,
So I heard lots of switches and changes. So I'm gonna guess that you were talking about the show that Daredevil used to be before they made it great.
Yes, yes. Before
it's almost like they made it with a previous administration, and the current administration is making Marvel great again.
Yes.
I don't know.
I love when you can, and that seems to fit because of this episode as well, and we'll get into that as well. Also, too, surprise, this is going to be a review of The Last of Us. If you saw the thumbnail,
That was the other show that I watched.
So we're going to be talking about 2 shows tonight. So we started off early to give you guys bang for your buck. So, in all seriousness, and we talked about this.
Well, I can tell you which episode is better between those two.
Oh, I can tell you too. It's not even a fucking contest. But let me just ask you, because we debated about this, but does it not feel like 2 different writing teams? Like, this is going to be the permanent writing team that did 8 and 9. These directors aren't going to change. They're going to have one solid team. That's the word around the water cooler. But now let me finish. But
there's 2 directors.
There's 2 directors. Yes. David Lease and someone. It was the Netflix people. They made the Netflix shows. They brought them in to retool and redo the script. And can we at least agree this feels like 2 separate things stitched together? Because we had the episodes where we're like, they were good, or we had somewhere where they were like, that was great, and then we'd get an episode the next week and we'd be like, what happened?
Well, let's put it this way. All of them have been on the good side. They haven't made a bad episode.
Not at all.
And I have a feeling, I could be wrong about this because obviously I wasn't there, that quite possibly even the stuff in the earlier episodes, like they probably kept a lot of it, but they just rejiggered how it played out a little bit.
Because you could tell, like, it doesn't seem to fit until we get to the last 2 episodes, at least for me. Everything just seemed to click nicely. So I got to applaud both teams for one thing.
Well, okay. I mean, okay. So what was my biggest complaint so far all season long?
The fucking ladder.
Okay, that is fair. What I meant was, my biggest ongoing complaint was them taking the decision out of Daredevil's hands whether or not to kill the people that he's going after. Hello, Carmen.
And to our surprise, they rectified that. They did very, very straightforward.
Episode 9 did it perfect. I'm sitting there watching it, and I was like, "Ooh, here's one of them situations." And I was like, "Oh, they did it!
They did it! They did the thing! They did the fucking thing we were talking about."
And there was even a scene later where they're like, "Well, do you want to go and murder a bunch of people?" And he's like, "Kinda."
But I'm not going to, because and this is what we've been waiting for, and we said our biggest complaint was a lot of the show felt like they took the decisions and made them for him. And in the same sense, the writing was trying to tell us that this whole arc was about him making the conscious choice to kill or not. But we never felt like the character until this episode. Holy shit. Dude, I've watched this episode 3 fucking times. I would say, if I was just rating the show on this one fucking episode, it'd be we'd be in Cobra Kai territory. This would be in a perfect 10 for me. Unfortunately, when we get to our overall series review, we do got some low ones in there. But I'm going to say that retroactively, and I've said this before in my reviews, this bumps up the rest of the show, because now it makes sense.
That's what I was going to say. It's essentially like being a wrestling fan, and you're watching the entire pay-per-view, and you're like, I don't have a whole lot to complain about. There were a couple spots that were a little iffy. Some people on the mic weren't so great, but overall, it was all right. And then you get to the main event, and the main event is an absolute fucking banger, and you're like, this pay-per-view was amazing.
Yeah, and that's the thing that people don't like. One episode, you guys don't understand. 1 or 2 bad episodes you can overlook. But if your first episode and your last episode can cap it off, then we could excuse some stuff in between, because you can say, oh well, they're moving towards something. You always want to feel like you're moving towards something. And I even said last week, we said, please, you need a banger out of the gate. And I don't think I've seen one. I have not seen one negative review for this episode. And you'd be fucking lying to me. You'd be insane. You would have to be somebody who really wants to hate Disney. And even those people, I watch their reviews. There, I want to challenge. What are you going to say negative about this episode? This episode, to me, and I'm just not going to bury the lead here, but for me, this is a perfect 10. I'm just going to say I'm giving it. Zod approves. Perfect 10. This, and I mean, I feel
God,
like
I'm so
PB,
close. I'm so
I
close to
don't know
giving it a
how. I
10.
don't know where you can deduct a point. Like if
I
you
can,
can
I mean,
eliminate.
we can spoil it right now and jump to a scene, considering like we should have the ticker going along the bottom
Oh
that
yeah,
says spoilers.
let me do the spoiler tickle. I was gonna say tickler. Oh, hey,
You
lemon
gotta put
pie.
like Daredevil spoiler. Oh, okay, that works. Spoiler review, whatever. They know what they're getting into now.
Yeah, you know when we're talking about a show.
Okay, so
Come on.
the episode cannot, it's impossible, go below 9. It cannot go below a 9.
Fair. Okay.
It can't. I'm sitting at a 9.5. And my biggest problem was, do you remember? I don't remember if we had this conversation on air or off air when we were talking about Kingpin literally crushing somebody, just like how the mountain crushed the Viper.
Yeah, we were having that.
We
The
literally
night
talked
before.
about it.
Yes.
Literally talked about it.
Okay, I'm still not
So
seeing
I'm
where you're
sitting.
not at a 10 right
I'm
now.
sitting there watching that scene, and I was like, oh, I see. We're doing the Kingpin thing, which it was fantastic. But
Beautiful.
instead of just essentially imploding his head, he like broke his jaw off and like crushed part of his skull.
Oh no, he broke the jaw off and then he ripped up like this.
Yeah, but there was on the other side, because it was his looking at us, or it's his right hand that broke the jaw off.
Yeah.
But then it looked like there was like some severe damage on the top side over here.
It looked like he was going for the crush, but he just may not have had the power. You got to remember, he's been losing weight. He was putting on that beefy boy strength.
First of all, I don't care that he's been losing weight. He's still Kingpin. Like, these are comic book characters. I'm expecting comic book level strength.
No, he's got to get back. He got to hit the gym. You can't blame him. This is the first season.
Okay,
he's got to hit the gym a little bit.
Okay, if you can sell me on this head crush being as good as when the Mountain did it, I can give it a 10.
I mean, I can absolutely sell you because.
Okay, I'm waiting.
Because when we did the Mountain, yes, it was great and stuff like that. But my issue, where I think this might even surpass that, is when the Mountain did it, the eyes popped out a little bit, whatever. But they did it very practically, where you only saw his nose bleed. They did the special effect. There wasn't. It wasn't, to me, for how Game of Thrones is. And don't get me wrong, it's still an amazing kill. I don't consider that a really gory kill. It was just shocking.
Oh, I will agree that this kill was more gory.
And I think that, now going by your comic book logic, this 100% should get a 10 from you, because this is so fucking over the top. It felt like I was reading a comic when he ripped his fight. Because think about it, this is a comic book show, right? If you're gonna go for comic book murders and stuff like that, and you got that R rating, I give it a 10 right off the bat, because they went straight into like comic book territory. Because we know in real life, you're never gonna see somebody rip someone's face off. You know where you will see that though? In a fucking comic book.
Dude.
So if it
was, I can also say this. Practical effects.
That's what I also
wanted to point out. God, I'm gonna get a cramp in my hand from this episode going like this.
the effects alone. I mean, PB, I understand your reservations, but I think this might be the time you have to give this a 10. Like, the effects were on point, the acting was on point, there were no tech issues, at least none I could see. Everything made sense. Daredevil was wounded the day before, and we didn't see him going in there like kicking everybody's ass, so they showed the damage. And we got the fucking coolest death. And I'm just gonna say this for people who are fans of the original Netflix Daredevil show. This here is the most brutal episode, I think, if you took all of them like they were still together, right? Say this was Daredevil season 4. Netflix, right? Say this is just a continuation of season 4.
Okay.
This would be
Okay.
the most brutal out of every
Question.
season I've ever
Question.
fucking seen.
Question then. So it is. It's most definitely the most brutal of this season. Like that. That's easy to judge. But I have not watched the Netflix show, so I will
We need to
ask
do a watch along.
how many episodes of Daredevil? It's 4 seasons, right?
Yes,
How
3.
many it's only 3 seasons. How
Yeah.
many episodes
Like 10.
is Frank in?
He's in season 2, episodes 1 through 10, but he kind of goes in and out because they're doing other storylines. So
Okay,
he's in
so
like the first
he's
half.
not in. I feel like the gore factor goes off the chart because he's in this episode.
Oh yeah, but even in the only show on Netflix that could compete with this is the Punisher show. And I think the only thing that would be more brutal is the last episode of the Punisher show where he cuts off a guy's head and puts a fucking grenade in it, rolls it into a group of guys, it explodes, and then he systematically starts tearing through throats and stuff. That would probably be the only gory thing that I've seen that could compare to this. And that's the last episode of The Punisher season 1. And there's also a long torture scene as well, which is pretty brutal and they got a lot of flack for. So I would say that his show is the only thing I've seen in the Netflix universe. And we're talking about they had the go ahead, there was sex, violence, the whole shebang. And this one episode probably contends with half of those shows and how fucking brutal it was. And I would dare say the people at Disney Plus must have been like, oh God, I hope that people don't call it. Like I didn't even feel like I was on Disney Plus. I had to fucking double check. It was like, I paused the menu. I'm like, yeah, I'm still in Disney Plus. Click off, check. I was like, yeah, there's the fucking Lion King and Mufasa and Mulan.
Did you watch Mufasa?
Yeah, it was terrible.
I saw the first half.
Yeah, it's in my top 10 worst movies.
And then I'm sitting there watching it, and I was like, "Holy shit!" You know what this is, right? It's not. They call it Mufasa, but
it's
really it's not supposed to be that. Like you look at how everything ends up playing out. It's like Moses.
Oh shit! Wow, that got philosophical. See, here you come for a Daredevil review.
Like the stepchild who showed up floating down the river. Like, come on! That is Moses.
I think you're giving the filmmakers too much credit.
I mean, no, accidents happen. I get it.
It's like they're gonna come out. I swear to God, Disney, if we see in an interview later that the creators come out and be like, "Well, our allegory was for Jesus and Moses," you better give us credit. That's all I gotta say. We better get a fucking nod from Disney Plus because we just saved your fucking movie.
Yeah, just say that. Just say it's Moses, and you'll be like, "Oh, the Christians will come see our movie now."
I love what
are you reading here? Carmen says, "Yes, my lemon pie. Unlike the rude and sour bear, who doesn't even say whole when he comes into the live stream."
I like how she put rude and sour, like the Sour Patch Kids. So you're a Sour Patch Bear tonight.
They only start sour. Everybody knows how the Sour Patch Kids end. We're sweet.
Oh, okay. Things getting spicy already. So, let's go back a tick. Let me just
start at the beginning.
Because really, this episode is so good. We got to go from the beginning.
I'm not gonna lie. When I sent you that picture, I took a picture of the screen, and I was like, "Holy shit!" Frank is in the thumbnail for the episode. Shit is gonna pop off. I am hyped. And then the episode starts, and the first scene is slow.
Yeah, and I got nervous too because I saw Frank in the thumbnail. I'm like, Disney, come on, man, don't do what you do at the last episode.
I thought from going back to the last review, I was like, I told you it's gonna be rehab. He's gonna be in the hospital the whole fucking episode. Wrong.
But this is how you do it. I like how we get to superhero bullshit. Like, yeah, he got out of the hospital, which no human being shot where he was. But we could chalk it up to he's got heightened senses. He's more physically adept than a normal Joe. So I'll give him that. But I like how he doesn't come into a fight and he's 100%. Like when they slowed down those fights, you could see him grab the wound. And I think that shows so much care to not treating us like an idiot, because you see, like, Frank's fucking people up left, right, and center. And
Bro,
Daredevil's slow. Like,
wait, you've already jumped past the beginning of the episode? We're into the fight scene
I'm
already?
sorry. I'm so hyped. Okay, so
I don't even
like
remember what the first scene is. It's so slow. What happens?
So I like the fact we get confirmation that Fisk's wife hired Bullseye. We saw that he put him in a fucking institution, so that's why he was out, which I like that for the explanation of the Netflix show, because they never said what happened to him afterwards. And he put him in a fucking psych ward and drugged him, which was smart, because as you know, if Bullseye has his senses, he's going to be chucking pens and shit at people. And she hires
Or
him,
teeth.
or teeth, whatever he could get his hands on. And so she hires him to take out Foggy, and we find out that Foggy had dug up something on the porch. That's a little bit later, but we jump to the hospital. I'm guessing that Matt and this chick aren't going to be together, because the way they leave it, she leaves his bed, he's drugged up, and he's like, it was something that he did in court. I got to find the paper. And they're like, bro, you just got fucking shot. And I like people call that, like, dude, you want to, like,
Let's
rest
just
in bed.
relax for a moment here.
You want to, like, let the morphine wear off before you go, throw your fucking stick around, like, chill out. And so they say they're going to take care of it. The one lawyer chick, I can't remember her name because she's such a fucking boring character.
Oh, the black chick?
Yeah, I didn't want
Which I'm sorry that I can only reference her like this, but like,
we can't remember her name.
She's the only black lawyer in the show,
and we can't remember her name. Can you?
I remember. Okay, so let's get past the racism here. I remember Cherry's name. That's easy.
And
he didn't even freaking do anything this episode.
And to be honest with you, he still makes more of an impact. Like people are saying, the new characters. No, a lot of the new characters work for me. It's just some of them you could see got more attention than others.
Who are the returning characters in the show?
Karen, John Bernthal as Punisher, Daredevil, Vincent D'Onofrio, the chick who plays Vanessa, she's been in every season of Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
Kingpin's wife. Yeah, she's been in every season.
Okay, so the black lawyer was not in original Daredevil?
No, she was brand new. The Asian cop is in different Marvel shows, so we know her from there. Because I think we said we've seen her in a couple of crossovers. So she's been at least in the world where we know who she is. We know the sword
you talking about the Asian cop?
Yeah, she was in WandaVision. And
she was shit!
Yeah, remember? She was in the fucking truck with the Asian dude, and he said, "This is my partner, so-and-so."
Yep.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Is she the new Coulson?
She's got to be the new Coulson, because remember, I said that on the Bank episode.
Well, I thought that the new Coulson was going to be, what's his face in the Ant-Man movies.
Oh, yeah. I would have loved if he just popped up.
The guy with the card tricks, which I don't know why I can't remember his name. I just watched that movie not that long ago.
Dude, I just remember he does the card tricks. When you say guy with the card tricks.
And he was in the TV show Fresh Off the Boat. That show is freaking hilarious.
That show was great. Yeah, I really do like him. And I know he's popped up at he was in Miss Marvel. He popped up.
Yeah, I thought that he was going to be the new Coulson, but then the opportunities that they had to use him when S.H.I.E.L.D. is involved, they just kind of poof.
I would like to think if that chick is there and he said she was his partner, maybe we could see him. She could call him and be like, "Hey, I need somebody from S.H.I.E.L.D., because shit is going down." So, yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, I thought for sure that he was going to have to punch his way out of his freaking hospital room. I didn't think I didn't think he was slipping out as the guy slipping in. Like I didn't expect that. They got me on that one.
And I gotta say too, I love how they did the decline and how they did Vincent D'Onofrio going full Kingpin, how it wasn't just like, I'm evil, let's blow stuff up. He was like, well, what's better is a dead hero than alive vigilante. Go take
Yep.
care of him. Like that, but you never, and I like that they don't go over the top. You never see him get really yelling, even when he kills the commissioner guy. I like that they keep it, he's more scary when he's subtle. Because you're like, I don't know about you, every conversation, I'm waiting for the blow up. After you see him rip the fucking dudes, I'm like, dude, next season's gonna be stressful because every conversation, you could get the Kingpin going, that's a good idea. Or you could get them going, ah!
I know that's
Like,
exciting.
yes, it makes the show exciting. And also, I like, once again, what they did with Matt. So let's get to our favorite part. Matt freaks out.
Yes.
They were going to kill him.
The
And
best part of the whole fucking
so,
show, I believe. Which I feel like they blew their load too early. But then as you continue to watch the episode, you're like, oh well, you kinda had to have that early for where the story was going. So I'll let it slide.
plus, and I'm just going to
It
say this,
doesn't
even
take
though,
away from it. It doesn't take
no,
away.
it
Oh my
doesn't.
god.
You're talking about the best scene in literally a episode that could have, any of them could have been the best scenes. Like, the fucking
Dude, and they
fights in
do
this
it, they
episode.
do all of it.
Oh my
They
god,
do the wide shots, they do the narrow shots, they do the look at the carnage shots. Like, holy shit.
they do the slow mo and look at the carnage.
Oh yes, I need to make this point here. Greatest slow motion fight you will ever see up to this point in human history.
Dude, like, okay, so you and I are fans of John Wick, except for,
Oh, Johnny Wick.
except for number 4, we differ in opinions.
No,
I'm
we
a little
just
bit
watched
more kind.
it just ends at Parabellum.
But
Although I seen, oh my god, so they're doing a John Wick story.
yes,
Did you see that
Valor,
trailer?
I am looking forward to that. Arma de Armas.
Oh,
Oh
I
God, like,
see.
yes.
I know everybody's gonna be upset. They're like, oh, they're turning John Wick into a woman. It's like he walked through the door. He's right there. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
And
like,
this is just another person. Like, you got a problem with Black Widows? Fuck off.
not to mention, this is an assassin's guild. They just don't like hire a bunch of people who look like John Wick. They
Bingo.
hire. I mean, you're only gonna find one Keanu. I mean, unless he's got a brother out there we don't know about.
I don't think they do. Anyways,
Anyways,
fucking fight. I don't remember the last time I seen a fight scene that I was like, holy shit.
I'll tell you the last time I seen a fight scene like that. Netflix episode 6, when Daredevil takes on the Russians who kidnaps girls to traffic them. The infamous hallway scene. And I can't wait for you to watch this with me. It's a one take, no breaks, of him just fighting all of these guys. Now, there's no slow motion, but it gets to a point where everyone's tired and you could see them physically tired, so the action does slow down. But it's like, I don't know,
Seems realistic.
9 or 10 guys against Daredevil, and he's in this fucking hallway, and he's just chucking shit, using shit, throwing them against the walls. These big, beefy fucking Russians, because, you got to do what you got to do. Hey, you
We
two
get it,
are,
Carmen.
we know, yeah, Carmen, there's not a soul in the world I know who's sane that doesn't like John Wick. It wouldn't be a worldwide phenomenon if there were people who were crazy enough to say John Wick isn't a good movie.
Hey, I can say lots of crazy stuff. John Wick is an excellent movie.
So,
you know what else is excellent? This fight scene with the fucking Punisher. Oh my god.
So yes, I don't know about
God.
you. Even his entrance, when that guy, because we're only seeing Daredevil's perspective, and then as soon as you see Frank fucking blast through the door with the shotgun, and it just all of those people, and he goes from the shotgun, just fucking throws it on the ground, takes out his fucking 9mm, shoots that dude in the chest. starts shooting other people, jumps behind a thing, tackles a guy, fucking takes his knife out and starts stabbing him. And we're like, oh no, he's gonna stop. What'd you tell me? He stabs him in the throat and then he fucking fish hooks his neck off or something. Like he
Oh,
goes,
yes. Yeah.
and throws his fucking
He
head.
takes the fish hook and the knife and essentially rips his flesh out. Now, I told you this, but I didn't tell all of the people this. I just happened to be watching the show with the subtitles on. And the subtitles like to give you audio cues from time to time so that you can occasionally it'll say something stupid like melancholy music. I'll be like, thanks. It's like, I've been deaf my whole life, right? I've been deaf my whole life. I know exactly what melancholy music looks like or sounds like. It's like stuff. Okay. But I have never seen this subtitle before, as he is slow motion stabbing this stupid son of a bitch who decided to come after Daredevil. Anyways, it's not the one. He's stabbing the ever-living fuck out of him. And the subtitles say, flesh squelching, which is the best description I've ever heard during a fight.
I also love I love the end of the fight where we have so let's talk about the decision. Finally, folks, if you guys didn't know what our pet peeve was, we said characters kept on taking the decision out of Daredevil's hands. Well, this guy is pinned to the fucking wall with a knife in his hand. Thank you, Frank. And so
Hell of a throw.
And he Daredevil finds out that the bullet casing is this guy has killed the White Tiger, Hector. Yep. And Daredevil actually has the choice. And he has the devil on his shoulder. I like to call Frank the devil on his shoulder. Frank's like, just do it, Red. Kill him, Red. No one will miss this piece of shit. He goes, do him and we'll do the rest of these guys and get going. And he's like, he goes, you killed Hector. He was a good man, blah, blah, blah. And then Daredevil takes his baton up. And we're like, shit, this is the moment, right? This is the crossroads. Either he's going to bring that fucker down consecutively and end the dude's life, and he hits him really hard once. He might have a slight concussion, whatever, but he for sure was not dead. And Frank goes, yo, what gives, Red? And he goes, isn't this the guy you were talking about? This is the piece of shit who murdered him? He goes, It's not worth it, Frank. And he turns around and goes, no, this guy
no. He goes, he's not worth it. He's not worth it. Gets in front of him so he doesn't shoot him. And then, go ahead.
And then he goes, oh, that's right. He's not worth it. Is this guy worth it? Boom!
Boom!
That guy worth it?
Blows his
that guy
worth it?
What about this guy over here? Boom!
Jesus Christ, Frank!
He's like,
you just have to kill people, don't you? And I was like, yes. Yeah, people like this, yes.
And this is what I love, because this shows the difference between Daredevil's relationship and how Frank views these cops. And I'm jumping ahead to the torture scene, but I noticed something that in this scene, even though Punisher kills people, him and Daredevil balance each other out because he knows he'll never get Daredevil to do it, and he gets frustrated, but he feels more like Daredevil understands him than these fucking cops who idolize him, because Daredevil and him,
for sure,
they both have lost people. They both have given so much for their city. One would say Frank would even consider him a brother in arms against crime, right? Even though they fundamentally disagree on everything. They are two polar opposites, and they're always trying to get the other one to do the other thing, right? Daredevil's always like, you don't got to kill him. Frank's always like, fuck you.
You ain't got to keep him alive either.
You ain't got to keep him alive. We could take him out. But at the end of the day, they respect each other, and the acting in these scenes is so fucking good. This is like Penguin level.
Carmen, nobody cares anymore. I'm sorry to inform you.
These are people who are fundamentally two different people, and yet they understand each other more than these supposed fanatics that idolize the Punisher for all of the wrong reasons. So we get to my favorite scene where they're both argument, and then Daredevil says, shut the fuck up, and you hear that little click,
and
he goes, grenade, and they both fucking stop arguing. And my favorite part was when they dropped out on the street and he says, "You're such an asshole, Frank." Because I know.
I know. And then, lo and behold, I mean, they put way
Karen
more.
Page!
They put way more than one grenade up there. Blew up like 3 times.
Yeah, so the guy died anyways. But at least we could say Daredevil didn't do it, technically. This is a Batman technicality.
I mean,
He didn't
okay.
kill him,
No.
but he didn't have to save him.
I mean, that's a little different because, like, there's no time when you're running away from a grenade. And, like, he's still just a man. He has, like, regular man strength, let's call it. He couldn't even hold on to Frank. They fell on the car.
Yeah. Very ungracefully.
And then didn't Frank kill the guy that was in the car? Or was that just a random person?
No, that was just a random person.
Oh, okay.
So, they both get
and then
picked up
Karen
by
shows up.
Karen Page. Our OG character, she has returned. I'm gonna assume she's gonna be in season 2, given where we leave it off. But she was the one who called Frank, which is what I figured when I saw him. I either figured the blackout, he went there because he wanted to find out what the fuck was going on, but that's like, that doesn't make sense. So when he said, "I'm offering you help," and someone called me, I put it together right away because, I'm a fan of the
aren't you
show.
a clever boy?
But so I like how this also caters to us Netflix fans, because when Carrie came out, I was like, "Carrie's back!" And I'm just gonna say, PB, now let's judge these interactions versus the new people, right? Why is Karen so beloved? Because when she gets in the scene, there is so much chemistry between
Okay,
her.
I never saw the Netflix show, as I already stated, and I could see the chemistry.
But you could see the chemistry, right? You feel the connection between these characters, and you don't have to watch the other shows to understand that they have a close.
You can savor it like some sodium chloride.
Creepy. Yes, we don't indulge that here.
What are you talking? Do you not know what sodium chloride is? Is this a real thing right now?
No. I know. Wait,
sodium chloride is table salt.
Oh, I was thinking of sodium pentothal.
Oh, that's for murdering people.
Okay. Well, whoops. Villain. Fucking don't have to justify myself. You do what
I didn't say you had to justify anything. I know that you got the chemicals in the back.
You know what? I just want to make New York great again.
Scary.
So we get all this, and Daredevil and Kara, they have a moment, and they decide they're going to go off and find the files. And I loved this line. I know we're like literally pointing out everything because our Last of Us review is going to be short. We're pointing out everything in this episode, but I love when they look back and they're like, she's like, "Frank, are you gonna help us out?" He goes, "No, you guys could keep your Inspector Gadget bullshit." That isn't my thing. I was like, yes, Frank is. Okay, if you watch the Punisher TV show, I think me and you should do some watch-alongs for the Netflix shows.
You want us to watch everything?
Yes. If you watch the Netflix shows, Frank is not the research guy. Even in the shows, he's got people who help him. Like there's this guy, Micro, in the first season who helps him figure out the conspiracy. And they put it best in this show. Micro is the tech brains guy, and Frank is the missile or grenade that you send in there, okay? He's the guidance system. Frank does all the killing. So I like how they keep his character where he's like, "Look, you find out whatever hitting bullshit or whatever. I'm just going to go over here and kill some more people." That's my thing. So they go to do their thing.
I don't know what beans you spilled.
Zod gave himself up. He spilled the beans? What?
Oh, about you. Oh, that's probably about you having the murdering people stuff.
Oh, whoops. Shh. We
gotta catch you first.
They don't know where the villain resides. No, but it's it's one of those things where I really like how they kept those dynamics. And then I want to talk about some other, I'll say honorable mention, gold stars. Michael Gandolfini, James Gandolfini's son, who played in The Sopranos. Michael Gandolfini,
Yeah.
promising young future. The,
Oh, very much
he
so.
he he goes into maniacal, but not over the top. Just kind of almost a mirror to Kingpin. He's very subtle. He's to the he's very subtle in his evilness, and kind of snarky and sarcastic, and I fucking loved it. I loved how he's like when they had this, so they show the scene, the senators are it, all being questioned on their loyalties, and he goes,
Oh, you
Senator
mean the city councilors?
or the city council, and he's
City
like,
council.
so Counselor so and so, I heard you like to make some extra money on the sides. Maybe we could talk. You could share with the class. And I was like,
Right?
he's
She's got a cool $500 million just chilling in the Caymans.
just chilling in the Caymans, and I was like, I and if you don't know, there's a joke amongst us Daredevil fans. The other dude who tried to kill Matt in the hospital, we call him Westlake 2.0. I'll show you the first season, but Kingpin had this guy on his side. His name was
Oh, you're talking about, oh, God, what's his name? His name's something real simple, too.
I don't know. I just call him Wesley 2.0 because
Shit.
that's basically what he is.
Continue.
But that guy is also like, I love how they do those shots where they show people after they've made choices, and you can see that guy has a blank look. He's a stone cold killer, and somehow in politics, like what politicians would have people kill people? Like, this is very far fetched. There would never be anything like this in politics. I was a little offended. Like, there's no corrupt politicians or people stifling money. That's where I was like, okay, Disney, hold on a second. You're going too far. These are clearly these are outstanding citizens that would never do anything like this. But so he causes the intentional blackout. He forces while they're questioning the council, he forces
So what,
the
did
other.
he just, like, turn the power off? Like, he just flipped the big Kingpin switch?
Oh yeah, there's in New York, there's a big sewage, like in the sewers. There's a big like outlet boxes that go to various points, like Brooklyn, Bronx. There's a whole like sort of way station. Why we keep it underground, I have no clue. I always wondered,
Oh,
like,
so
what
it's
if you like,
like, it's right down the tunnel from the turtles.
and the man-eating alligator.
Okay.
Like, and lots of fucking rats the size of fucking dogs. But yeah, so you can turn them off very easily, but to get the okay to do it is not easy. So he turns off the city's power, essentially starts a riot, comes on, he goes, we will not deal with these criminal activities. The rule of law will stand. From now on, vigilante activities are banned and will be met with the full
I thought it
power.
was full. I thought that kind of scene was a little ridiculous in the sense that he's like, vigilante activity is now illegal. And I was like, did somebody make it legal previously?
Okay. I still will give it to him because I get it. It's for the drama. Like, yes, it's never been legal, but they've never pursued it. It's kind of been like a don't ask, don't tell thing. It's like when we saw the Batman, right? Dark Knight Rises, where they had the things of people they were looking for, and it was like Bigfoot, Elvis, and Batman. It's like,
Oh, okay.
it's like, it exists. We just don't say anything about it. We don't. But Kingpin is clearly stating, no, this is happening, and now it's not going to happen. And I will actively look for people
Right.
doing it and beat the shit out of them. Because he's not arresting them.
So what was the point of the blackout? Was the point to be able to, what do I want to say, initiate martial law?
Yes, because under
Because it seemed like once they blacked out, like the one kid was like, okay, broken glass, I'll take this TV, and then they shot him.
Yep. Which, to be fair, that's a thing. I know of a couple of instances that has happened, particularly to a certain race of people, but
yeah,
we will go there.
typically it's not somebody who literally stops, doesn't do anything, and waits for the cops to arrest him and they shoot him. That typically doesn't happen.
Doesn't happen. No. It's more of
hey, stop, and then they didn't, and then they shoot.
Yeah. And then they say, oh, gun. Sprinkle a little crack on them. No. But no, I totally like that, and I liked how it went down because yes, it is very true. There is protocols. I know if the city is in a nationwide blackout or something like that, they do call in the National Guard.
If the city is in a nationwide blackout,
or if not a nationwide, if it's a citywide blackout, then yes, they do call in the National Guard, armed forces, and they can, for a certain amount of time, which I'm going to be watching closely the next season, because the military part, you guys know, I'm going to be a little bit hesitant because there's a time limit that you can impose martial law, and I think it's like they speak to the mayor and the city council, they put their people in place, and it's like something. It depends on how long it takes for them to rein everything in, but he could use the riots as a way to get the military in, and then he could stir up more shit as a way to keep the military in there and have a presence. So I think it's a pretty smart plan because you start the inciting incidents. Of course, there's going to be heroes who are going to not put up with this bullshit. So he can use that as an excuse like, well, we haven't quelled the riots down yet, so I'm going to need the military indefinitely. Like,
that'd be pretty wild.
Yeah, and military gets corrupted too. He can get them there and put some people in his pocket. We know the Kingpin in the animated shows and in various media has had mercs and commandos under his thing. We could see him build up a little army here. There's a lot of different fun little possibilities. So let's get to
spend the money, Disney, and have Kingpin hire Deadpool.
Yes, merc for hire. Have him go after Punisher and Daredevil. That would be fun. And normally he's friends with Spider-Man. So here's a big one I've been hearing.
That's what I'm saying. He can go after him. They're gonna have that little tiff for a little while, and they're gonna be like, "You realize that Kingpin actually manipulated you?" And he'll be like, "Oh shit, let's go kill him."
He'd be like, "Wait,"
and then Matt's gonna be like, "No, you're just like Frank."
He's probably worse than Frank because at least Frank's kind of got a guilty conscience. Like after he does feel things. Deadpool does the shit on a Wednesday for shits and giggles. Like he
That's fair.
He does it like jovially. Like he has no problem. Even the Ryan Reynolds, you're like, oh, that's just random henchman number 3. But Hydra Bob, he'll never kill Hydra Bob. They're BFFs.
Hydra Bob.
Yep,
Hydra Bob. I would assume Hydra Bob is like roommates with Jeff.
Oh, you know what would be so cool? Now that we've gone there, they need fucking Jeff the Land Shark. You could do it in Guardians. You already brought the dog, and Howard the Duck has been around. Just bring in fucking Jeff the Land Shark.
You're talking about Cosmo?
Yep, Cosmo. You could have Cosmo, Jeff the Shark, Groot, and fucking what's the cat? The cat. The Flarkin. What the Flark is his name?
Oh, what the
Goose.
Flark is his name?
Yeah,
Goose.
Dude, I would honestly, I don't give a shit what the plot for that movie is. You give me a movie with all those characters, I'm fucking there day one.
I want it to be them versus the Thunderbolts.
Oh, and then a big team up at the end.
Well, obviously.
Obviously, you got a big space battle. That's how it's got to go.
That's how it. I'm still waiting. I thought they were going to do more verses with Oh, you could have did like Avengers versus Guardians of the Galaxy, and they could have fought for a little while and been like, "Why are we fighting? I'm from Earth."
Like he's like, hey,
And then Tony
Kevin
be like,
Bacon's the best,
"You,
the
you
best
came
human.
here in a spaceship."
Is Kevin Bacon still the greatest Earth person? He was never great.
He was never great.
Bullshit! Bullshit! I want to do it. I was pissed like Peter when someone said that. I go, you, how dare you take that back?
I agree.
So we had them do their own thing. So let's talk about Frank's thing because it kind of parallels with our other favorite scene. We
Wasn't
buried the
Kevin
lead.
Bacon a bad guy in an X-Men movie?
Yeah, and he was good at
Okay.
that too. I don't think I've seen Kevin Bacon do a bad performance yet, but let's talk about the Frank Castle scene. He goes and decides, being the crazy son of a bitch that he is, that he's just gonna fucking attack all of the cops by
Yep.
himself with no backup.
Nope.
Because he does have a conscience, and Karen does get to him when she's like, "You don't care, you don't want to," and he's like, "Shit."
Oh, you skipped that part, or did you? Or is that after that?
That was after that, where as they were
When
leaving,
they
she
start
was like,
talking about the heartbeats?
"Yeah,"
That's
and
after?
that's after. I'm doing it in two sections because we got two different adventures. The first one was Frank because it's gonna kick off the second part. So Frank goes to the fucking boatyard like a fucking G and decides he's just gonna take care of it himself. And I was just thinking, like, I was like, Frank, you're a badass, but that's a lot of fucking cops you're gonna have to go through.
A
And
lot of
so
firepower there.
he, to Frank's credit, he does fuck up a lot of them because they're not at the
Oh, he
kill
killed a lot
him.
of people. Right, they're not supposed to kill him. He's like, fuck this shit.
He kills that one guy guarding the place fucking viciously, and then he goes up the ramp and he realizes, like, oh shit, this might actually be too many guys. Takes that one guy hostage.
Yep.
Realizes they don't really give a shit about hostages apparently, so he just fucking shoots him in the neck. Grabs the other dude. Now this was the amazing part. They send in people with riot shields, like they are trying the stun bullshit. I thought I saw a tase there somewhere, and he just
Oh,
fucking shakes that shit up off. They're hitting him with batons and it ain't working. He's taking their guns from their holster and shooting them with it.
yeah,
And
that was
then
pretty good.
finally, they get the best of them. But here's one of my favorite scenes. Okay, we cut back to Daredevil and it's boring shit. He's finding files. The most important bit here is they found out that the port
No,
is.
the most important bit here is that we found out that Karen and Frank are in love with each other.
Oh yeah, no. If you were a Netflix fan, you knew that shit. Anyway,
I
I'm
didn't.
sorry, I forgot you never saw those shows. It was implied strongly in the other shows. That's how they had the connection. That's why she
Yeah,
was
but I
able to
feel
call
like
him.
this is the first time that he called it out.
Yes, this is the first time Daredevil's called it out. You are correct. In the other shows, they never crossed after a certain point. Karen kind of came over to Punisher's show for a couple episodes, and then
Ah,
they did that
she
deal.
got her punishment.
Actually, no, they never fucked. Never fucked. Her and Matt
Not
did.
even. It's not even implied off screen.
Nope. They just have
That's
very
a missed
strong.
opportunity.
They got very strong chemistry. Frank won't
Carmen,
be,
Carmen, we have seen the movie Tremors many, many times.
and we can tell you, he can even make worm creatures dance. That's how fucking
Damn
magical
right.
Bacon is. But anyways, so they go and they find out, and this is true actually. So little history lessons for you guys if you don't know. But back in the day, New York had kind of made a weird thing with the ports, and this holds true to this day, which is why we probably have crime in the fucking ports, and we had to call the National Guard and shit. But um, the ports are not; they're considered their own thing. It's what did they say? Like a city state kind of a deal you can make them because the ports aren't under the authority of the police or the New York precinct or anything. They're considered separate and sovereign. So if you control the port, then essentially you can move anything in and out without it being checked, without it being harassed when it got from point A to point B. You'd have to intercept it in the middle of the fucking Atlantic, and good luck doing that shit. So, um, they find out that Vanessa had Foggy killed. And the thing that I really loved about this episode is they made Foggy's death mean something. I was going to be pissed off if you killed off one of the favorite OG characters for no reason. But I really like the fact that a lot of the crux of this episode hangs on a deal, and he accidentally found it. He wasn't trying to bust them. He was trying to get his client off of murder. He he's what did they say? They said he accidentally stumbled into a conspiracy. He wasn't even, and then when you think about the first episode, that night he wasn't thinking about a larger conspiracy. He was happy because he knew his client was going to get off. So even he didn't know the whole scope of everything that he was messing around in. Now, for somebody who's never seen the old Netflix shows, do you think for you that justifies what happened in the first episode and it kind of makes it better? Because we talked about that and you said, well, I need more. If I remember correctly, you said I need more context to see how I feel about it. Was kind of where we left
yeah,
it.
because like as far as you can tell, it in the episode, at least to me, I don't know about anybody else, it seemed like he was doing it to like get back at him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because like you said, there's zero context given to it. I mean, there's not even any audio. Like everything is just like watching from a disembodied fucking voice position or something like that, where you can see it all happening all at the same time. And I thought that, going back to episode 1, I thought it was shot real well, the way it was put together, but it seemed, like you say, almost pointless because, like, okay, they killed his best friend. Cool.
And now, knowing what we know, and this is what I'm saying, this retroactively can now make my review of other episodes better. It's a
No, you can't go. You can't go back. You can't go back and review the episode.
Yeah. Now I could go back and watch episode 1 and go, knowing what I know now, it all tracks.
You can like it better, but we're not redoing a stream, so you can be like, well,
No,
I gave it an 8, and now I'm giving it a 9 because it
I'm
made
gonna
it
say
better.
when we do our series review, it ups my score a little bit as far as the subsequent ones because now I have a reason to tick up my rating slightly because I was
you also have a reason to trust the people who are making the show, in the sense that when they do something again and you're like, oh, well, that was super random and out of place, you'd be like, just wait and let the other shoe drop, and then we'll see what the actual mystery was and how the dots are connected.
And the dots connected. And for them to do it off of two random things. So we got all of that. Frank gets captured. Now, I want to talk about one of my favorite scenes. Because you already got the other one I was going to take, you son of a bitch.
Yeah.
So this is my favorite scene of the episode. I like the interrogations simply for the visuals. I like the contrast between us watching Kingpin going full villain and Frank addressing the fact that he is not a hero. And you see you see them both accepting who they are, but it's like we finally see that deep down inside, past all the murder, Frank is a good guy who wants to save innocent people. He doesn't want people to go through what he went through in the other shows where he lost his family.
He wants to save innocent people the peacemaker way.
Yes, we see he's still in his own fucked up way. Not really a hero, but, a vigilante, we'll say. He still has the greater good at the end of the day in mind. He might not be the most heroic, be the guy to save his bad guys, but at the end of the day, he still gives a shit about the greater good, despite everything. And then you see Kingpin finally realize or make that transition where he is like, yeah, I'm a villain, at the end of because we saw him, what was his struggle? His struggle was trying to do things right. And this episode, you see him go, well, there's billions of dollars to be made instead of millions. We see him just say,
Right?
fuck it. And he's like, and in a sense, it's kind of interesting his character because he is in a fucked up system. Like, I could almost see his point of view because the politicians are no better except for they don't do the murder thing. And even then, we don't know for sure. They probably have people to off people.
Her name is Hillary Hinton.
Yeah.
Hillary
Yep.
Clinton? Hillary Clinton?
Oh, God, I can't. The Clinton, the one who didn't get head, oh, or apparently give it. But
She's not a real go-getter, that one, is she? Go,
but
Monica!
but I have to say, I really enjoyed the shots. So the shots I'm talking about
Oh, you
are
got drunk while you were watching it?
Oh yeah, tons of shots. But I liked when they went from Kingpin and then they went to all of the people who got into place. And you see Michael Gandolfini sitting in the office with the ring, and like he's embraced this. He's ready to ride or die for Kingpin. You see the shot of the I'm gonna call him Leslie. I forgot his fucking name, but the bodyguard guy,
Yes,
and he has he has no remorse. And then we see a shot of Frank saying, and I love the line where he's like, "You think you know my pain? You think you understand me?" He looks at the guy. He's like, "I wouldn't even piss on you if you were on fire." Oh my god! Like that is probably. I'm just gonna say it. Punisher really steals the fucking episode.
I was going to say, that's one of my favorite lines that anybody has ever said in anything because multiple people have said it. But you got to be able to deliver it appropriately. And he nailed it.
There in this episode was a what bad performance. So we get to uh finally Daredevil arrives. He's gonna go in there like a fucking madman. He's injured and everything, and he's about to go in there and he's like, fuck death, I gotta save the poor people. I'll talk about it. We'll get to the end.
That sounds like a Thanos style aspiration to fuck death.
Yeah, fuck death. He was gonna make it through. And we get a call back from Netflix. You don't know this, but in episode 3, when Karen is saved by Matt and then saved in his bed later.
The girl.
So Karen was getting. Karen got around. Anyways, so Karen asked him as they get up and they go by the window and it's raining, and they show the perspective of Daredevil, and it's the first time you get to see his view. He sees everything. He does see things, but it's like kind of blurry, and the people are red hue. So Karen goes to him. She goes, "What is it like to be in darkness?" And he says,
okay. I thought that was a callback, but I was like, obviously, yeah. I didn't know what I went to. It's like 1,000 burning suns.
It's like 1,000 burning suns. And as he says that, you see her in red with the heartbeat. And yeah. And
did you see my heartbeat when I saw you, Matt? What a fucking what a lie. She's just trying to get laid by all the heroes.
Dude, I don't blame her. Anyways, but it was a nice callback for the fans of the Netflix show. So I really appreciated that. And then she said, bide your time, fucking wait, and she goes, "We need more people." And he's like, "We need an army." And now we get to
army.
Like, oh my god, everything was epic, even the ending. Whereas it's like, I was ready for them to keep going. And I knew we were at the hour mark at this point. And we see a side-by-side shot. Another great fucking shot to end the show. We see Daredevil, and he's walking through, and it's Josie's bar, and we see all of the people, and he's talking about, the city, the city is wounded, but she's not down. And he goes, "I thought I could do this alone, but I figured out that I was never alone." He says, "I have all of you. New York is strong. She'll survive this." And then you see Kingpin walking past fucking cages. He put all the council people.
Yep.
And anybody who opposed him, where Adam was at the beginning of the season, in fucking cages, chained up like fucking animals. And then you see him walking through, and who's in the last cage? Somebody who's not gonna be fucking there for long. Spoiler alert. At the very end is Frank, that just
Well,
glaring, and I
I do.
almost
I
wished.
found it interesting that he said anything about Commissioner Gallo, because I
Yeah,
just assumed he was going to just be like, Commissioner Gallo resigned. And then he's like, and then he left and went here. And I was like, are people going to be able to check that?
I mean, Kingpin probably could make it seem like he's on an island with his other
I mean, he
family.
probably could, but why? You don't have to say anything. And then when
Oh no,
people come asking questions, you still just don't say anything.
I mean he could, but does he really have anything to worry about? You can ask questions. You're gonna go on an
Yeah, he's got
island
to
where the
worry
commissioner.
about the Avengers.
Yeah, at this point, or the Defenders, which I'll get to later because
I mean, okay. I mean,
I got a
I
couple of
don't,
reveals.
I don't draw a distinction in the heroes that, let's say, are TV exclusive at this point compared to heroes that have been in movies. They're all just heroes working against their villains
It's like
inside of the
X-Men versus
MCU.
Avengers, or
Right.
you get what I'm saying? That's the distinction. The Defenders are all the street people. Even Spider-Man has been in it for a short period. Defenders are the New York heroes, and then you have the X-Men, and then you have the Avengers, and you have the Young Avengers, which are like Kate Bishop, Hawkeye out
Okay,
there,
I'm just saying that
training
I
wheels.
want Kingpin to be like an actual villain in a full-blown movie.
I'll get to that because you can't, and I'll get to that in a minute because that was revealed today. Um, so, uh, anyways, we get the big walkthrough. We see that Matt is like, New York is down, and she's not out. One thing about us New Yorkers, we're tough. I fucking love that because they threw in the New York tough. Like the 9/11 callback got me a little bit in the feels. And that fucking shot where you see the newspapers, you see him in the middle of the newspapers, and then they zoom in and you see the red. Mwah, chef's kiss. What a fucking what a
Pretty
ending you
fucking
set.
impressive.
The cinematography in this. I mean, I know lately we've
They were
gone.
definitely using the A team,
Oh yeah,
Mr. T, and all of them.
this was just great. So a couple of reveals I want to talk to you about before we get to ratings. But reveal, Kingpin can't be in the movies apparently. So they're doing the bullshit where Kingpin apparently can only be in shows and Spider-Man can only be in movies. I don't know if this is a Sony thing because Kingpin is technically part of the Spider-Man deal. So I don't know if that has to do with the agreement they made with Sony, but how do you feel that means there's a good chance, at least until season 3 or 4, we might not see Spider-Man like a Batman situation? We might not see Spider-Man appear, even though he's in fucking New York, and
I
this
don't
affects
think
him.
if that is the case, then we are never going to see him because Sony isn't going to allow it.
Oh, yeah,
And
and just like
I don't think that Marvel is willing to pay the arm and the leg that it's going to take to allow him to just be in a TV show because they're not going to make enough money off of it.
but you know who they might pay to put in
Your
a
mom?
movie? Besides my mom, fuck
Oh, you
you.
think they might pay the so Kingpin could be in a movie?
I would say it would be easier in my mind. The
Easier
easier
to
and the
get Kingpin in a movie.
Kingpin in a
Well,
movie.
obviously, because they can. I mean, they can essentially tell whatever story they want, but the way that I understand it is that Sony can essentially be like, we'll just take that character back now.
Yeah, so I just wish
Like
Sony
if
would.
they think that anything that Spider-Man does in the Marvel Studios Spider-Man, if anything that he does, they believe is going to hurt the Spider-Man brand, they will yank it.
Which I think they really should just pay whatever the fuck Sony wants and just fucking take Spider-Man back. I don't know how you feel about it. I think this whole fucking deal is
I
stupid.
don't. Oh, like now we're talking about business decisions instead of just feelings, because obviously in my feelings I say, yeah, I don't fucking care how much you pay for this one character and the roster of characters that comes with them, because
Then you get Craven, you get
right, any you get Craven, you
all
get
his
Morbius. Morbius.
Oh yeah, we get that
Oh
Morbius
my
too,
god.
baby. We get
Oh my
Morbius
god, that would
too.
be so great.
Hell, we got Blade in there. Put a Blade and Morbius team up.
Oh man.
Oh, we fuck it. I take a Disney show with Blade
Okay,
and Morbius.
anyway, I
Sorry, I
I
got
don't
off there.
think I don't think Marvel's ever going to make the decision, being that they've already been able to use them and pay like essentially pennies compared to what they're going to have to pay. I mean, if they paid, I don't remember how many years ago it is now, so like 2013, $4 billion for Star Wars. Star Wars comes with a lot of shit. I'm pretty sure they're going to have to pay Sony more than $4 billion for Spider-Man and anything that comes with him, obviously.
Yeah,
It's going to be super expensive.
I still say it'd be worth it to be able to connect everything.
No,
Maybe that's
because
a fan
let's
talking
put
to
it
me.
this way. Like, that's like having executive power with essentially none of the risk. Like, Sony sits there and they don't make Spider-Man stuff. They let somebody else make the Spider-Man stuff, and then they just take their McDonald's franchise fee. And they're like, thank you for the tens of millions of dollars for doing nothing.
So
I mean, that's a
yeah,
great business decision. And you constantly have the money coming in, because I assume that whether they're using Spider-Man or not using Spider-Man, I assume that he's leased essentially so that you
yep.
can use him. I mean, you lease a car. If you don't go anywhere during the day, then they'd be like, oh, well, you ain't got to pay us for that day because you didn't drive anywhere. Fuck no, you paid for it.
Not to mention too, we're not even talking about the Sony stuff with the movies too. You gotta remember they have the Spider-Man games, which are very successful. They
Yeah,
got
I
three of
know.
those fuckers.
That's what I'm
You got
saying is
Wolverine game.
that's where, if something that Disney does is going to hurt the Spider-Man brand, and they'll be like, we're not going to sell millions of fucking copies of our Spider-Man game because you're out here wrecking the fucking character. They'll be like, we'll take that back now.
So yeah, I get it. It just kind of sucks to have to look at it realistically. So let's go to a rating. Rating for me is 10. I mean that was what came to my mind initially when I saw the thumbnail, and I never left. I never left the 10. It was just, to me, this is everything TV should be. And this is, more importantly, this season final does something that a lot of season finals haven't done with Disney, and it gets me excited for season 2 and 3 confirmed. They just confirmed today there's going to be a season 2 and 3. So like they're putting a lot of eggs in the basket, and the basket is looking good, PB. I'm like it. I looked in the basket, and I like what's in the basket. There's a lot of good looking eggs
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
there's a lot of good looking stuff in the basket. So
So
rating, hey?
yeah, so
Mm.
I'm going 10. PB, I'm feeling like this should be the first show historically that you give a 10 to. I mean, I don't know how you could not be. I throw 10s like
10
candy,
is,
but
oh man.
I don't see how you could not say this wasn't a 10 out of 10.
I
This
gotta,
did
I
all the
gotta, I
things.
gotta change positions here. I gotta think. I gotta ruminate in my space. I give it a 10.
You heard it here first, folks. If you make it to 114, first ever, look at all any other stream
A
we've ever done together.
fucking 10.
The
I don't
first
give out
10.
10s, people. It doesn't fucking happen. Did you watch this episode? Because if you're not watching us, you should be watching fucking Daredevil.
Yes. 10 out of 10. Perfect television. This does everything that we ask it to do. And it also gives me hope for the TV side of things. If this is what they're going to start doing and giving them one team, one direction, then this could look good, not just for Daredevil Born Again, because this show really, this was when they said, we're doing a new format. And God damn it, keep on this format. this is what I'm talking about. Get one team to write your show, have one specific story, and make it work. So, really quick before we go to The Last of Us, I heard rumors season 2. If you don't know, because you're not following the Netflix like me, they're adding in Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. So that would be Mike Coulter is in talks to reprise his role as Luke Cage, and Kristen Ritter has been approached by Marvel to return as Jessica Jones, although they didn't give what their answers were. And Mike Coulter is doing another show, which is excellent. If you haven't seen it, it's called Evil. It's on Netflix. You can binge the whole show. It's a actually good NBC show. Although I can't say that. They've had some bangers, but he's on the show Evil, and apparently in a recent interview for his show, it's on its final season, he was like, well, I can't say if I've been approached, but I would never say never, that bullshit. So they're gonna bring him back. Hopefully they get a brand new fucking Iron Fist. Just fucking recast him. We don't need the original Iron Fist. Was a fucking disaster. Still trying to forget that show fucking exists, but but so we could have. And this is the perfect setup because Daredevil said he's going to need an army. What better way than to reintroduce the unbreakable Luke Cage and the hard-drinking private detective, hot as shit Jessica Jones. She's snarky. She likes some brown sugar.
What?
Because, oh yeah, she fucked the shit out of Luke Cage. I told you, you gotta watch these Netflix shows. She and Luke Cage bang, and he's unbreakable, but she put that shit to the test. They
No,
they
that's
bang
Bruce
out
Willis.
walls. Well, yeah. Luke Cage is unbreakable too, but you get my meaning. So, yeah, this show's a perfect 10. Now, here's the toughest one. For the series overall, what are we going to go with? Because I know we were up and down, and I was super low on the Muse one, but I might be able to bump it
I
up
would
a
like to go back and just watch what my ratings were and be like, okay, now I'll just average it all out. But like I said before, you can't do that because some things are worth more than others. You watch the pay-per-view, it's kind of trash. We'll change the analogy. The pay-per-view is kind of trash. And then you get to the main event, and the main event is spectacular. All of a sudden, the pay-per-view is good.
So let's just say off the cuff, we don't go back. We just
go
gut
with my feels. Go with my feels.
Go with your feels. What do you want to give the series as a whole for its complete rating?
Ooh.
And I'm gonna start with you first because it's a hard question.
I'm waffling between an 8.5 and a 9. I feel like I go with a 9.
And I'm gonna give the series overall a 8.5. I went lower than you on this one.
Whoa!
Okay, so I'm gonna say 8.5 because even if I give that Muse episode a 1 point bump, that shit fucking soured me. Like, I'm not enough to go full 9 because it was
interesting. What's keeping me from that is hanging a man on a ladder.
Yeah, it's that, and there was the odd episode where I felt like it was a little bit slower, but I'm 8.5 because I feel like this has potential as a series to be straight 10s when we get into seasons 2 and 3. I felt like this pulled together and had the perfect, what we consider first season of television. Like, this is as close as you can get to a great introduction. But I feel like this is a case like Breaking Bad where the seasons are just going to go up for me as we go through, and I don't want to blow my whole load on the first season.
Well, okay.
I want to keep some in the tank.
I mean, if you're going to do that, I mean, the only reason I put it up there is because when we were watching the first half of the season and, like you said, stuff wasn't like his best friend gets killed out of nowhere and it's not connected to anything, and all of a sudden it's connected to something. Now when you go back and you look at the review, like in the moment, the review looks really fucking dumb because you didn't have all the information. But that's just how the cookie crumbles.
You know what? I'll go. You talked me into it. It wasn't going to be that hard. I was just waiting for a reason. I'll go with a 9. We'll go with a 9, but I still maintain this has room to either stay in the 9s or even exceed. The next seasons, to me, have so much potential to be in 9.5, possibly 10 area if we get like perfect every episode bangers. And some seasons do it. Go see Stargate. They got full season bangers on that show where they're firing on all cylinders. So that's my hope. We got this show that only goes up as we go through. So then we're fighting when we eventually have to do a tier list on where we're gonna put them because they're just so good. Like I'm hoping this lands where Cobra Kai is, because even Cobra Kai's worst season is never on the bottom. I don't think we had one near the bottom in that tier list. They were all upper echelon. It was just like, how far up are we going to go?
Right. It's just when you compare it to itself and you're like, God, I like the previous season better. And then we said that like every fucking season until the last 5 episodes.
Yep. So I'm going to say, this was a 9 for me too. This is a great show. Definitely check out Daredevil Born Again. It makes it worth the Disney subscription finally, because I just been keeping it because of Bitchy's parents trying to win brownie points. It's the only reason why I still got fucking Disney Plus. But now I'm glad I kept it. I got more reasons to pay for the bundle. I keep on telling myself I paid just for Hulu because I get a deal on Hulu. And I love Me the Bear and Shogun.
Oh, so, okay.
Yeah, I gotta watch Me the Bear. It's a great show. But yeah, Hulu's got enough shit in there for me to be like, okay, I could justify having Disney. But yeah, this made me, for once, really happy I got my Disney subscription, because now I got all the phases of Marvel and I got a cool new show to throw in there. Switch it up. Fuck, I might even rewatch it when we get done. So yeah, now the moment we've been dreading. Oh man. Okay, so I want to preference this. When we did this show last year, we were pretty high on the episodes, if I remember correctly, especially the first episode. We were very.
Oh yeah, the first.
We were arguing with people, if I remember correctly. People used to.
I can't remember back that far.
I do. I remember, like, we were one of the few where, like, everyone was bashing. Oh, they had the one episode with the gays. Oh my God, the gays! And we were constantly arguing. It made sense. Blah blah blah. So let's go to episode 1 now. I want to say off the bat, this wasn't a bad episode per se. The acting is still there. We have the chick from Home Alone in there as the psychiatrist. She's fucking fantastic. The person that they cast as Dina looks like you took her from the fucking video game. That's like a spitting 1-for-1 image. Abby looks nothing like fucking Abby.
Ellie?
Go see the game.
Ellie?
No, I'm talking about Abby, the
Which one's
bitch in
Abby?
the beginning. That was the girl in the beginning with the Firefly
the chick
family.
from Last Man Standing?
The
angry girl?
Yes. She's more buffed in the game. Actually, the chick they got for Abby should have played Ellie. Because they look I mean, just talking off of looks to the video game, she looks more like video game Ellie.
No, I did find it funny. I was seeing a lot of side-by-side pictures for their, like, this is what happened in the game. This is what's happening in the show. Look at these side-by-side pictures. And I was like, holy shit. The girl that they cast for this Hispanic girl looks fucking like she came out of the video game.
The game, yes.
And then you see the girl on the other side and you're like, is that her retarded cousin?
Yeah.
Like, what happened?
Well, yes.
How can you get one so fucking perfect? And then you're like, well, everyone likes this actress. I was like, I don't care.
Yes.
If her name is Snow White, make her fucking Snow White.
Yes. And this is the thing where I get mad at the show, because sometimes they fucking nail the casting and the shots so goddamn well. I would think that I was transported in the fucking video game. And then you have times where you're looking and you're going, was fucking Neil Druckmann off and Kirk Mazin, and they let, like, in turn B pick the fucking person? Because how did you land on that person for this character? So first off, I'm going to give some heavy spoilers later on predictions of what I think is going to happen based on the fact that I've played the game, and this is sticking extremely close to the game. But they did rearrange the orders, and I'll say this right now. You guys can check out my review. I have The Last of Us, a non-biased video game review on it, and my first thing I say is the thing I hate about the game is because when you play the game, a certain event that hasn't happened yet happens, and you're forced to use a character who started this certain event that hasn't happened yet for fucking 3 hours. And then you switch back to the person you want to play for 2 hours. And then you switch back to the person you hate for another 4 hours until you fucking finish the game. It's a vicious cycle. And this game is fucking depressing. When I say depressing, I mean like it's so bleak that I had to, when I was replaying it, I looked at Bitchy and Bitchy's like, oh my God, like that's the fourth dog you've killed. Why are you killing? Why is that dude screaming for his best friend? I got to turn this shit off. I can't do this anymore. Like in the game, when you kill people, okay, when you kill the soldiers and stuff, they will scream their friend's name or their wife and their child as you're killing them brutally. And PB, like, look, we like violence and stuff. I'm a dictator. But this is why I have henchmen, okay? I don't get my hands dirty because I don't got to hear this shit. I can go into my room with my crystals, lay down, and pretend like I didn't do any evil shit, right? Your henchmen did it. That wasn't you. You just gave the order, right? I don't want to be personally killing people for fucking 12 hours straight while listening to fucking depressing music. So, I like the fact that if you guys haven't played the game, the character of Abby is not introduced in the beginning of the game. She's actually introduced somewhere in like the 2 hour mark. The events still happen how they're happening, but her particular introduction isn't until the 2 hour mark. So when this specific event happens, it comes out of nowhere and it pisses you the fuck off, and you want to turn the game off. So I liked, and my complaint was, I thought they should have introduced Abby sooner because of a particular thing that's going to happen. Introducing her the way they did leaves a sour taste in your mouth because you're like, who the fuck is this person? Why do I have to care about them now? You done put me in a pissed off mood, and now I don't care. And I think a smart
Now I
thing
don't care.
now I don't care. And I think that the show did a smart maneuver because I know in this season a certain event is going to happen. And I can't wait for people who have no clue about the game, but it's going to happen. And you're gonna hate golf. I'll leave it at that. But it's going to happen.
Am I going to hate it more than the only time in my entire life that I recall going, I don't need to see those two girls kiss?
It's going to be worse than that. I know that's hard to believe.
It was weird. It was super weird.
We'll get there. We'll get there because
oh man.
We'll get there because I talked
We
about
better
this
get there.
with
We got to
Bitchy.
get there fast because I don't want to talk about this show as much as I talked about the previous one. Just so you're aware.
So, in the beginning, I gotta say, the beginning of the episode, I liked. I liked the introduction of Abby talking about what Joel did. I think
I
it's
thought you were
gonna
going
be
to say
better.
at the beginning there was darkness.
Oh,
I
and
mean, we're making biblical references tonight.
oh yeah, we got super biblical. But let me just ask you, as far as the acting, I thought the acting was very good. The conversations. I did like the. Let's talk about the scene before the one that horrified us. The one that was supposed to be scary. What do you think of the new group they introduced? So finally, for fans of the games, they introduced a new class of the infected, the Stalkers. Now, if you guys haven't played the game, the Stalkers are a evolution of the cordyceps monsters. They actually set up traps and shit, and coordinate different things. And I liked that whole scene of and the throwing the bottle. That's straight from the game. I like how she threw the bottle and then fucking lunged on the clicker and fucking stabbed it with the knife and then fell through the spot, because I've done that in the game when you're walking on the fucking floor and you just fucking fall through. But what did you think of the new monster they introduced? And do you
Oh, the
feel like
stalker?
yes?
I'm intrigued to see how the fungus is mutating and how Resident Evil-y it's going to get.
Oh, this is better than Resident Evil, because these creatures have like actual intelligence. Like if they play it like the game, like these fucking things can open the door. Trust me, I know I fucking closed a lot of doors. They'll open the doors and fucking chase you in the game. Or they'll send out a warning and shit, and then they fucking hide in the dark, and then you gotta fucking wait or throw something to see if you can get their attention. And fucking, I'm having PTSD flashbacks from the fucking game. The stalkers are a pain in the ass. And you got a group of them, you're fucked, because a group of them, they will like send out signals and corner people. So I'm hoping in the show they show them being invaded and you have the fucking infected like setting traps for people. How fucking cool. That would be terrifying. And remember, one of our biggest problems from last season was they did not show enough of the monsters. That was the other positive I have for this episode. I like the fact that right away they show us clickers and they show us a stalker, and they're like, and then they show that pipe that had the little.
Yep, the pipe with the feelers out the end for letting people know what's going on at the other side of the country. I don't know.
Yep. It's in that fucked up. They're like in the fucking mountain.
I assume it has essentially unlimited range as long as it's connected.
Yeah, so I don't know who fucked up there. They're up there, but somebody was supposed to maintain the. Joe's gonna get fired next week because someone didn't maintain the fucking pipes leading into the city. Jesus Christ, you have one job, keep the monsters out.
Yep.
Also, not really much to talk about. What do you think of the new characters? I know they haven't introduced them. We got the Asian dude, I just call him because I always forget his name. He was so boring in the game.
The guy of the head of the council?
No, the one who was the head of the team that went through. He was the first one dating Dina. He was the Asian with the square head, and he's like, "Oh, she came with you, blah blah blah," and she was like, "Yeah, the big Asian guy. He's like the only one in the cast," and he matches his game counterpart. They look a lot alike. Little lore: he dated Dina before she decided to switch sides, so that'll come up later. So she's not actually lesbian; she's bisexual, technically. And so let's just rip the Band-Aid off. Okay, so I got a lot of things to say about this scene. I'm gonna go first because I know the game. Okay, so here's my problem, and Neil got in trouble for this too, the creator of the game. This scene was not okay when it was in the game. Now, my problem, because you're going to have those people who going, "Oh, well, we're in a modern time. Lesbians are lesbians, blah, blah, blah." Look, I don't give a shit that there's two girls kissing. We watch Game of Thrones. We saw brothers and sisters fucking, okay? And I was on the side of Cersei.
Okay. Here we go. The real truth comes out is like, you know what? We're going to talk about how I was pro-incest.
You know what? I was a Cersei defender, and I'll fucking die on the hill. But I draw the line, okay? My daughter, Phoebe, is 18. Dina and Ellie
when did canonically... your daughter turn 18?
She turned 18 this year.
When?
March.
Are you sure she's not 17?
Yeah, she's 18.
Okay.
I would know. Anyways,
I'm totally willing to be wrong on that one. I just thought that she hadn't turned 18 yet.
But my major point
is she graduating at the end of the school year?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, then, yeah, she's probably 18.
Yeah, man, you're supposed to be Uncle PB.
I can't remember everything, Guy. Just like
I love it.
I've already blocked out a lot of stuff from this episode. That's why I'm letting you go first, because like maybe you'll jog my memory because
So here's my issue with this scene. Now it's beautiful and it's recreated. Like if you ripped out the scene from the game and this episode, even the design of the lights, okay, beautiful set design, everything else, gorgeous, everything's great. Acting's good. But my issue is, and it's always been, and I said this in the game review, I don't mind that it's two girls having their moment and they're in love or whatever, or even just messing around. But canonically, in the fucking game and in the real life universe, because they're keeping the timelines the same, they would only be like 19. And like, yes, I know they're technically adults, but I don't want to see two 19-year-olds making out.
at
And
least not on that streaming service.
and the worst part is, and bitch, you pointed this out, they kept the line from the game that I fucking hate, where she looks at her and she goes, "Oh, you smell," or she goes, "Do I smell?" Or she goes, "No." She goes, "Do I smell nice?" And she goes, "Oh yes, you smell like trash." And I'm just like, that's not sexy. Like everything about this scene is so unsexy. It's so this when we talk about political, and we could tell Neil Druckmann is put a lot of politics in this game, which I sure is gonna fucking carry over into the show, and it's unavoidable. This doesn't feel
And it's
like
unavoidable. Season 2 is gonna suck.
this feels like okay, I don't necessarily not buy their relationship, but I don't buy it to the point where you would have this romantic kiss ensue. Okay, so on a level of two characters connecting, I don't feel that connection quite yet. They haven't really built up to it. And on top of that, I don't want to see two kids, and I can fucking say that because I'm 40 years old. I don't want to see two kids
God, you're old.
kissing and making out with each other. It's just not appealing. It seems very distasteful. It put a bad taste in my mouth for this episode.
Now, if
Literally
she
and
would have kissed her
figuratively.
brother, then you would have been in.
Yeah. If it was the brother, okay, all right, we could get something going. But no, it didn't feel right. I don't know. Something about the scene, and I don't know, maybe you can help me out because I know you text me right away. I felt like the scene doesn't fit together, and it felt wrong. It felt very, and people are fucking raving about this episode. But I'll tell you, I'm disappointed. There were two good scenes for me. The one where Joel was in the counselor's office, I thought was a fucking great scene. Probably the best scene of the episode, where she's like, "You killed my husband." Whew, that feels good to get that out of the open. Now, do you have anything you want to get off the chest? And he just says, "I saved her." So like perfect. Like if we would have just stuck with scenes like that, I would have been able to get on board with this episode. And then we had a cool little fight scene. Like, and I don't know about you, but this is my issue. You could have a slow episode. We've had them with Daredevil Born again. We just said that, but this didn't feel like it moved the story in any direction. And I have an idea of why, and I'll give you my prediction of the next episode. But this felt very slow when you compare it. Like, think about season 1, episode 1. You had the virus breaks out. You had his daughter get shot. Cut 5 years to Fedra. The fucking base gets blown up. He's got to go and save this young girl. He picks up the young girl. The person who delivers gets shot and says he's got to take her. Okay, and now we're on an adventure. That all happened in the first episode of last season. This season, we rode a horse. We saw them clear out a building with only 2 infected. And then we
We got
had
introduced to a stalker. That's the only
we,
cool thing that happened.
yeah, we got introduced to a stalker. Joe got therapy. Joe and Ellie hate each other. We know why, but well, I do, but the audience doesn't know why. They haven't showed the scene yet. But it's just like it's very slow.
Wait, so
Start.
the second game starts and the two characters hate each other and you don't know why, and then it gets revealed in a flashback that happened in
Yes.
between the video games?
Yeah, it gets revealed in a flashback 9 hours into the game, PB. 9 fucking hours before you find out what the fight is. God, I hope they
This
don't wait
thing's
that
real
long in the show.
fucking dumb that if you've already established your universe with characters, because I could see if it was the first game and you're like, oh, these two characters hate each other, and you like slowly get revealed as to why they hate each other, and you're like, oh, now I get it. But I mean, after you're established already, like maybe just show us.
And now you see the problem with the second game and the arguments that I've had when people come
Fuck.
and they tell me The Last of Us Part 2 was such a masterpiece and deserved Game of the Year. Fuck you. I will never feel
Well, I
that
mean,
way.
okay, it looked good and it played well, but it's dumb as shit if it's going to follow this.
Like, and that's my issue. And they fixed some of it with introducing Abby, but there's a lot of shit that happens in the second game, and there's a lot of shit they got to get through. You got to go through the wolves. They introduce
Stop
the wolves in
spoiling the
this.
show for me.
You got the Fireflies and what they're doing.
Continue to spoil the show for me, dickhead.
So it's confirmed. They already confirmed The Last of Us is getting 3 seasons. So there's another season that they're already writing scripts for. But this was just fucking slow. I gotta say, this was one of the slowest. And what really fucked me up about watching this is I watched this. Oh no, actually, this was good. I watched this before Daredevil, thank God, because it came on Sunday, and I was so uh, just like going from this to Daredevil. So we got horse riding. Then the only hook in this episode is at the end, and we see Abby has finally gotten to the overlook where you see the little encampment. So she's got to make her way down there. We see the wide angle with the feeler, and then we cut to credits. And I don't like this episode. Where are you at? Like, what?
I don't like it either. I was very bored.
Very boring.
The only time I was intrigued was the time that when I watched it the first time through, I fell asleep because I didn't see him clear the building out. I had no idea what was going on. I woke up and Joel was in therapy, and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" I was like, "Am I watching an episode of Schitt's Creek?"
I gotta see. For me, that was
like,
my favorite part.
and I was like, "Shit!" Now I need to rewind and go back. I mean, the scene with him doing the therapy was good. It was a very good scene. Excellently acted. Might have been the best scene of the entire episode.
That's where I'm at.
It wasn't the most important one because they introduced a new zombie.
But it was definitely.
Did they call them zombies in the show? I can't even remember. What do they call them?
No, they're called cordyceps. It's not a zombie; it's a fungus. Different. They still.
Yeah, but it makes the person a zombie. It's like a parasect guy. Like Paris just had a mushroom, and Parasect got a giant mushroom and it took over his brain, and now his eyeballs are white. He ain't got no pupils. It just does what the mushroom wants, like a zombie.
Okay, I'm not having this fucking argument. Actually, you can see the little
Pokeball
dictator.
Go.
She will tell you the same thing. It's not zombies. She did a whole super proud talk about my kid because that's more exciting than this episode. She actually did a report on the cordyceps and got an A. So if shit goes down, we're gonna find her because she might be the person who finds the fucking cure because she did a whole breakdown. She was inspired by season 1, but even the little dictator texted me and said she wasn't really feeling this episode, and I still see the shills out there. They're back, Phoebe. The fucking shills giving this episode a fucking 9. Are you fucking kidding me? People defending in the comments saying
Jeremy
this was a great episode.
Jeremy Johns gave it a 9?
No, fucking. Who do you think gave it a 9? What publication would you put money on that always has the wrong opinion?
I mean, if I had to guess one thing, I would guess Collider.
I mean, you'd be
wait. Oh, shit. Okay, so not Collider. So who's number 2? Oh, God, why can I not think of the website? Tell me.
They have dragons on the wall, PB.
Oh my God! Why am I
Wall.
IGN?
Yes.
There we
Yes.
go. I
IGN
knew it
gave
was.
this
I knew it was
episode.
something simple. I was like, "Fuck, man! Like, who's as
IGN.
bad as Collider?"
IGN gave Penguin. Can we go back? They gave Penguin a fucking 5 out of 10. And
As
they
a
gave
series or just an episode, the last episode?
as a series.
Wow.
Yeah. So we can't trust anybody there.
I'm not sure what else to say about that. I mean, wow.
they gave the fucking best show of last year a 5, and they gave this fucking piece of shit episode a 9 out of 10. So I don't know about you, just because of the therapy scene and because we got a new cordyceps monster, I am going to give this a 5.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, I was dabbling with 4, but I do like the acted parts with Joel and
Okay, well, I was definitely more bored and more off-put than I was intrigued and drawn into the episode. And I'm right there with you. It's a 5. It's not the worst TV that I ever seen.
no,
And
but
it didn't
not
it didn't like it didn't make me angry at any point like, oh, that was a stupid decision. I can't believe that you would do that. Like everything
yeah,
like
no, nothing
everything made sense,
bad.
but it was so boring.
It was just one of those things where I'm glad we're in the same place on this one. It's not that the episode is inherently bad or even that for us we're angry about anything. I'm there with you. Uh, it's that this had like, look, this is the first episode. We waited 3 years for this fucking thing, right? And you're mixing around scenes, and I can see it as somebody who plays the fucking game. So you're telling me you can mix up a little bit more action instead of one bullshit fight that my friend here fell asleep to? Like, like, come on, Last of Us. Come on, you can do better than that. We know. Like, when you think about PB, when we think about all of the great episodes, even the boring one, and that
I mean, did
episode had
they I feel like are the people that are doing the show, not the actors, but like maybe some of the writers, maybe some of the producers, maybe some of the directors. I don't know everybody that's involved, but like I get this feeling that they decided as fans of the game that people didn't believe them when they told them the second game sucks balls. I think they were like, no, it was good, and they're like, watch this. We're gonna take the game, we're gonna turn it into a TV show, and everybody is gonna fall in love with this show because it's fucking spectacular. Like, oh, all of the moments that you have in between the characters, and just enough carnage to keep you on the edge of your seat. Like, oh, real good. And then we're going to make the second season like the second game. And everybody's going to see what we fucking saw and how shitty it fucking was.
You know what? For once, PB,
Conspiracy.
PB, I am glad to say, welcome to my world. You know how I'm always talking about source material? Well, this is the first time. Actually, PB, I'm stepping into your world on this one. And
Oh,
folks, this might be the first time ever you'll hear me say this, so relish this moment. This is the first time where if you ever wanted to diverge away from the source material and just give us brand new fucking content, you have my blessing. I hope and pray that you change and divert from the source material as humanly fucking possible. Fuck it. Just do a new storyline. Because if this is going, PB, I gotta tell you, I don't want to spoil it for you, but I don't want to get your hopes up. This is following pretty fucking close. You heard me talking about
that's
like
what I
we're
heard about
getting
season
into
one. That's what I heard about season one. They're like, wow, this is, and they did I remember looking at a whole lot of side by sides where they're like, shot from the game, shot from the show. Fucking perfect.
So I'm
Like,
telling you right
super
now,
impressed with that kind of stuff. And oh my God, it's not. Is there a Last of Us 3?
no. And they just
what's really
Neil,
disappointing is that we can't like blame Neil for not finishing the series like we blame George. He's like, no, you're gonna make the show like my game, and people will cancel their Max subscriptions.
it's just like, and there's so much cope because there's cope for the second game.
Oh, I like me
And
some
I've
coke.
seen the comic section, and I'm sure now when people click on this video going, oh, Last of Us removed, maybe they'll see our point of view. No, you fuckers, I don't. Because I played the game I tortured myself 3 times trying to see what you people saw, and I'm sorry. The story is shit. The reasonings make no sense, and the whole theme of the game makes no fucking sense when you get to the ending. And I'm not going to say it here because I don't want to spoil it for PB, even though I should, so I save him like 8 or 9 hours of his life. But I'm a good friend, so he's going to suffer like I fucking did.
Okay, let's put it this way. I will put it to you this way. Like, if you think you would try and save me some embarrassment, it's not going to work. Because if Master Chief was played by Pedro Pascal, I would have watched all of that show too.
He wouldn't have took his fucking helmet off.
I don't want to talk about it. I wasn't going to bring it up, but you brought it up. Like, keep the fucking helmet on, guy. I am Master Chief. I control you. We play the fucking level. I don't want to know what your face looks like.
I definitely don't want to see your ass cheeks.
I didn't. What?
Oh,
I stopped at episode 3.
Yeah, you didn't make it to that episode. Why do you think they call him Master Cheeks? Oh yeah, you see all of that. You see all of that command. That command chamber. Yeah, not only that, but he has sex too. And you see his ass cheeks again. He commits them war crimes.
When he bangs the chick that the aliens abducted, right?
Oh,
which,
yeah.
I mean, I knew that was going to happen. Like, they were already alluding to it. I was like, oh, she's super horny, man.
Don't get me wrong. I'd commit a war crime too. But Master Chief is not supposed to. I'm General Zod, okay? I've committed war crimes. The fucking title of Master Chief means you are a Master Chief in the fucking United States. It's a Navy term, but for this purposes, they used it for the Marine Corps. That's a wrong nomenclature. Whatever, I'm not going to get into that. But Master Chief is a high position. So he essentially fucked the enemy, which is punishable by death in certain circles. And we saw his ass cheeks with no helmet again. At least if you're going to fuck, put the helmet on. Then
that would have been good. Oh, man. Like, that is where it's at. That would have been a baller scene.
Dude, 10 out of 10.
It might have kept me around. It might have kept me around. High school, what's it called? High School of the Dead style?
Yes. High School of the Dead style.
We could probably watch another episode.
I love that. You were like, we'll do one more.
We can do one more. Just give her one more. See what happens.
We went through that whole.
Yeah, and then you make me super depressed. You're like, so the guy who made this show died, and I was like,
I was so afraid too because I didn't want to tell you. I didn't want to break your heart after you had seen so many movies jiggling. I was like, oh man, this is like disappointing your kid. It's like, well, might as well rip off the Band-Aid. And like, oh, when is the new season coming out? Well, he's dead, so never. And the thing with the Japanese too and their copyright claims, first off, the dude didn't even have a son or anything because normally they'd pass it on to the son or they let the family estate. Okay. But he didn't have none of that, and he was the rights holder, and so yeah, we're never going to see that show again. I was so fucking depressed too. Welcome to my world. But now again,
well, viewers is what The Last of Us season 2 is going to end up with having none of.
So
it's not good.
I was going to ask you that.
It really sucks because I remember last year, I feel like every episode was somewhere between like 8 and 9.5 because I didn't give a 10 because it didn't have the Punisher in it. Anyways, it's not the point.
The last episode was close though when Joel went crazy. It was close. We're almost there.
So,
But no Frank, so we couldn't do it.
God, I didn't expect to be bored. I really didn't expect to be bored.
Okay, so let me show you the weeks ahead, and then I'm just gonna talk about my predictions, and then we'll get out of here. So let's see the weeks ahead and tell me if that maybe brightens up your mood. So a little bit of treats for everyone. If you thought the last episode was boring like us, let's see what they got cooking.
A moth. That probably means change and growth.
No, that would be a butterfly.
So what's a moth?
Death.
Ah, called it.
If you believe in that shit.
Dude, I'm just going to say it right now. I got to pause it every now and again because HBO doesn't just give me a copy. They pull the fucking video. So I just got to say, I love her. I never remember the actress's name, but Home Alone. She's so good, and she's only been in like a couple of scenes.
Now that we know what we're dealing with, we can come up with a plan.
Look, okay, so I just want to back this up a bit, okay? This is not Abby. This looks like Ellie. This is what we were talking about. Abby is a big old girl. Her face kind of looks like it was boxed in.
Was she in the season finale?
No. And if it's as retarded as the game, they'll explain why not. Because remember, it's 5 years, or a 5-year time jump. So she was off doing something, and she is approximately the same age as Ellie. Don't ask me how that fucking works out, because even being a Last of Us fan, that makes no fucking sense to the timeline, but just assume they're roughly the same age. I think Abby might be like maybe a year or two older than her canonically. So if Ellie is canonically 19, she's 21.
With a plan.
Let's just do what we came to do.
I'm looking forward to this. So the wolves are my favorite part of the second game. They are
arrows and superstition.
And look, Jeffrey Wright.
Tell me, how are we going to lose?
Get on the ground!
Oh, Commissioner Gordon.
Every day.
Yep.
At least he
Even a little
survived.
dark.
Comes to see the truth.
I'll go back if you want, and I'll keep going if you want.
Whoa. That was a T-Rex?
Yes.
Like an actual T-Rex?
No, it's from the museum. That's from.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't want to say
what
too much.
the shit?
So what do you want to do?
Okay, now here's my other issue. So
What do you want to do? They want to do each other.
So Ellie is going to change dramatically without giving spoilers, and I don't. Even from these shots, Bella Ramsey did a good job getting the essence of Ellie in the first season, the sarcastic and everything else. And we know she could kick ass, but I'm just going to say this game, she goes dark. Really fucking dark. And maybe I got to see Bella Ramsey's performance, but just even off that shot, I'm not getting that vengeful John Wick vibe. It's just not working for me. And I'm feeling like, because supposedly she didn't play the game, they didn't want them playing the game, they wanted to act it the way that they did. I don't know if she's going to get that side that she's going to need to make this storyline work. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't see the anger and the rage and whatever. But it's hard to tell from clips, so, who knows? They could win me over.
Jackson, come in. Jackson!
So, according to that was what we were expecting last night. That is not what we got.
Nope. She was a dud.
So, we both agree for 5. So, now, here's the thing.
I don't want to talk about the show anymore, guy. Oh my God, why are we still doing it?
Okay, so this is the thing. There's a certain event that's going to happen, and I'm wondering if they're going to wait till the end of the season. But then I thought about it. If they do what I think they're going to do, they can't do it at the end of the season because it'll leave people with a bad taste in their mouth, which means they only have this season is only like 8 or 9 episodes, so they have to do it somewhere in between. And they added the character that was never in the game, so they're doing that flashback too. So I'm wondering where they're going to put this pivotal event, and I think we're going to have a lot to talk about the next episode because from that shot and the way the episode ended, it's the start of the event that kicks everything off into high gear. And I'm going to be really curious in the weeks and months and see what your review is going to be.
Next week it'll be a short stream because we won't have Daredevil to gush over.
Yeah, we won't have Daredevil gush over. It'll be a shorter stream, but it might be the longest because I think this key event is going to happen in episode 2. And I'm going to be really fucking curious if they put this thing into the second episode because I think the internet's going to fucking blow up because you're not a person from the game, but the shot they left it at, I know exactly where that leads to in the game.
Didn't the shot they leave it at, wasn't it on Abby?
Yep, overlooking the encampment. I know what comes next, and the weeks ahead showed something that confirmed that they're going to do what I know what's coming after that shot. So it'll be really curious to see what the internet's going to look like after episode 2. It's either going to be episode 2 or 3, but they're going to do a major thing. And I'm going to be fucking very curious for you people who haven't played the game, what your opinion's going to be on how they handle this particular thing. Because I know for me, and fans of the game, oh boy, we weren't happy at all, and we only got 3 hours in before we had to deal with this bullshit. So I'm gonna be, I can't wait. I want to see what the normies have to say. I think there's gonna be a lot of pissed off people, and I quite honestly think the show's gonna lose a lot of ratings. That's just
let's hope so.
That's just a prediction, but hey, you're in it. You get to now. Well, here's the good news, PB. You don't have to ever play The Last of Us Part 2 now. You could just feel the same, feelings that I've felt for years.
Yeah, but like
without ever having to touch a game. How's it feel?
I didn't invest
you get
any
all
time.
the same. You're gonna get all the same things, and you don't even get at least the pleasure of having the controller. You just get to feel shitty without even having any satisfaction. You just get to watch it all unfold and go, I can't believe they fucking did that stupid shit. And I'm actually hoping they don't change how it goes down because it is so fucking stupid and so out of character that I hope they keep in the lines that are said and the way that it happens because it is the stupidest fucking thing I think I've ever seen in gaming. And for all of the defenders that go, oh no, well that would happen because the person had all of this time and they went soft. Fuck you. Not according to the game I played. Not according to the character they established. This person would have never done that. It makes no fucking sense, and it was the worst way for this thing to happen. So fuck you, and God, I can't wait for people to see it. It's going to be a Game of Thrones moment, I think. I'm going to call it right now. I think this is going to be a Season 8 Game of Thrones level anger.
And it only took them 1 season?
And they get to, well, here, they get to fuck up their show in, 1 season. I mean, at least they had a good one, so, fuck it. But yeah, that's all I got here. I'm not going to do comparisons. I'm not even going to say
Daredevil, yeah.
anything about that. Yeah, go watch Daredevil. As a matter of fact, if you haven't watched The Last of Us and you haven't watched Daredevil, watch Daredevil first so you could be in a good state of mind, get adrenaline going, and then watch The Last of Us premiere episode because you're going to need that adrenaline to stay awake to watch that. This episode was fucking boring. IGN is crazy. and I do not get people defending the show, especially when they proved they could start a season good. Now, hopefully, that was the last boring episode, and they just go balls deep. Like,
Well, that would be great.
did you see that trailer? If you look at the trailer,
yeah, I feel like that's 90 seconds of action that they spread out over the entire fucking season now.
I feel like they showed all the action scenes in the fucking trailer. They showed like 2 talking scenes. And they're like, no, we swear. There's gonna be action. They cut out the 300 fucking talking scenes we're gonna have. I don't know. I just like, even the conversations aren't interesting. And that's the thing that hurts me about this. Like, even the conversations are boring. And last season, they did whole new segments, and they were so interesting, where the people were talking about what the virus was, and you were engaged, and you were like, oh shit, and I was learning shit, and it was exciting. Like, oh man, I'm scared, man. I'm scared for you. I'm scared because I already know what's coming. I feel almost protective over you, PB. I almost want to like shield you, but then it's like, no,
That's
I've got to let him.
I will be all right.
Okay, all right. You know, I just I feel like a friend. As a friend, I should put you through this misery. Because oh boy, strap in, Bucko. We're in for some rants.
I might have to unstrap. I didn't play the game. I don't necessarily have to finish the show if it goes all the way down the shithole.
Oh, I'm gonna finish it just so when I do my critiques, I could tell all those people who gave my video a thumbs down because I didn't understand the genius of the game, and Neil Druckmann's a god who walks on water, and I'm just retarded because I don't get his themes. No, I get what he was trying to do. He just did a fucking poor job. It was poorly written. Please, HBO, fucking, like, look at this man's scripts and someone please fix them. Okay, Craig Mazin, he's an excellent director. Please look at Neil and go, no, Neil, sit in the corner. I'm gonna write this. You just sit over there, buddy, and let me fix this shit, because it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be fucking rough. Anyways, our next review is gonna be for The Last of Us episode 2, and we'll see if we're still interested by then. Like, I feel like episode 2's really gotta wow you next week. Like, shit's gotta go down.
It was this one was a 5. I don't. It could get better, could get worse.
I mean, I want to say it only goes up from here, but I don't.
Not from what I remember hearing about the game years ago.
And here's the funny part. I think this episode hopefully convinced people who are arguing with me that the game isn't as good as you remember. It's good because you were playing it, but watching it, yeah, now you get it. Like, it doesn't translate well because it's not good. It's not well written. It's fuck me, okay. Oh man, so thank you everybody for watching. We were I want to end on a high note. Daredevil was great. Go watch it. I can't wait. Season 2, man. They're shooting it. They're shooting it, PB, and they gave them season 3. We don't know when it's coming out, but fuck. We gotta wait a whole another year for a good show again. Well, I mean, I got
something good in the meantime.
Oh yeah, that's right. I got you coming.
No, I meant like on Disney Plus. I said there might be something good in the meantime. Like these people can't write all their shows as much as I wish they could.
Oh man, I saw that in the theater, dude. What a fucking terrible movie. Oh my god, it was so bad. And the movie I thought that was gonna be bad was actually decent. Minecraft. Dude, I would.
Would you throw your popcorn?
No, I'm not fucking stupid. I didn't yell like a fucking moron. Chicken turkey.
I don't know what that is.
It's just.
I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it.
Just Jack Black. He makes anything work. Jack Black and Jason Momoa.
I love Orange County. That might be the most underrated movie of all time.
Facts.
Orange
I
County's
will agree with that.
amazing, and nobody likes it.
So, yeah, I don't got that much coming up. We'll kind of play it by
Me
ear. But
either.
Sunday, we may have to start.
Sunday. Might start Sunday night.
Sunday night, we may be here, folks, for the epic journey. You will get to go through the gate with us as we experience Stargate. And we're going to be watching the original Showtime version. So there's going to be a tit or two.
You're not going to see it. You're not going to see it, YouTube.
You're not going to see it. We'll see.
This is not one of those free the nipple streams.
No. I mean, I wish we could, but last time I showed
I
shoulder,
can free
they
my
pulled
nipple. You want me to pull the shirt up? It's not
Well,
the first time that not the first time I'd be on YouTube topless.
Like, apparently we can, but when Bitchy showed their shoulder, we got fucking pulled out.
Yep.
And they were like, no.
Like, I need you to wrap this stream up so that we can laugh at this meme together.
All right. So thank you, everybody, for watching. Go check out Daredevil. You know what? Save The Last of Us for when episode 2 comes out and just fucking watch them together. Don't watch the first episode as it premieres. This is not a premiere. This is just fucking slow torture. So just wait until episode 2 comes out and then watch them together, and you might have a better experience than we did. But anyways, as always, remember there is only one rule here in the Phantom Zone. What is that rule?
Wilson Fisk loves